you. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome to the March 22nd River Falls City Council meeting. First thing we'll do is stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry. Christy, can we have a roll call, please?
Bierstead. Carroll.
Here.
Downing.
Here.
Morissette.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Odine. Here. Plunkett.
Here.
Okay, next we have approval of the minutes from the March 8th regular council meeting, the workshop, and the closed session minutes.
I move approval. Second.
First and second on the minutes. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approval of the bills with Mr. Morissette.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I make a motion, we approve the bills in the amount of $547,788.14, subject to the comptroller.
Second.
First and second, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, move on to public comments. If there's anybody in the audience like to stand up and say something, now would be the time.
Tammy Pitson from Art wants
Yep.
to say something.
My name is Tammy Pitson, and my address is 953 Winter Court. Mr. Mayor and City Council members, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share ARC's story. I am Tammy Pitson, and I'm here with Ronna Ellis. We are board members on ARC. What is ARC? ARC stands for Assistance and Resource Center. Our mission statement is to provide short-term financial assistance to residents of River Falls and Ellsworth to help them meet their basic needs. ARC is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we've been around since 2009. Yes, 12 years, and yet many people still haven't heard about ARC or what we do. ARC is the financial resource that offers help here in River Falls. We fill requests that other organizations are unable to. License tabs, titling and registration of vehicles, birth certificate replacements, duplicate driver's license, phone minutes are just to name a few. Our biggest request each month is assistance with rent and utilities. Because of ARC's help, utility disconnections and evictions have diminished significantly in River Falls. An increased number of clients have obtained and are maintaining employment as ARC continues to provide gas cards and vehicle repair, work boots and uniforms, childcare, and required licensing and certifications. Who is ARC? We are volunteers. There are no paid staff. We have phone volunteers that answer an ARC phone Monday through Friday and follow up with any voicemails received after hours. When a client calls, an intake form is completed. Requests then go to Ronna, our client services coordinator. She assesses, researches, and verifies the request and finds the best way to meet the needs of the client. A plan is formulated to provide assistance within 24 to 48 hours of documentation. Funds and payments go directly to the vendor. Clients never receive the money. The goal is to keep the client as an active participant in the solution while relieving the immediate stress of the situation. Our clients appreciate ARC because we do help. They don't have to make an appointment. They don't have to fill out paperwork and wait for us to process it. We don't have strict guidelines dictating what we can and can't help with. We do not refer them to another program which takes more time and energy and adds more stress to them and their situation. We are flexible and can adapt and tailor a solution to each individual's needs. The Angels on Earth Giving Tree program is also under ARC's umbrella. This program provides local families with gifts, groceries, and gas cards during the holiday season. In 2021, 178 families with 373 children here in River Falls benefited from our program. Where is ARC? Is there a door to knock on? No. This is ARC right here in that black little box. It has everything we need to make our program run smoothly: a phone and client intake forms. We are lucky enough that St. Bridget Church offers us space to set up an office Monday through Friday from 10 to noon to answer our phones. Why do we exist? Are there really that many people facing hardship here in River Falls, my hometown? Unfortunately, there are. There are people dealing with the job loss, homeless people and families, someone getting back on their feet after an unexpected illness, our veterans, and single parents just trying to keep it together. And most recently, those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. How much need is there? This January, $21,240 went out to help 96 households. In February, $18,415 provided assistance to 89 households. And for the first half of March, we are already at $9,160 going out to help River Falls families. These are some of the highest numbers our Cascade. That's a lot of money. And where do we get it? We do not have fundraisers, but we do have donations and grants that help us fill these requests. We can provide much assistance for a couple of reasons. One, there are no paid salaries and no overhead costs. So 98 cents out of every dollar donated to ARC goes right back out to help the clients. Our community, that is another reason we can provide as much assistance as we do. We've built strong relationships in this community over the past 12 years. There are landlords willing to work with us and make rent arrangements, car repair specialists who donate their own time, and the utility companies that take the time to set up matching arrangements between the client and ARC, all because they believe in ARC and the ARC mission. We have a pretty amazing community. We are fortunate that ARC has the funds to continue to provide assistance even during these challenging times. Again, River Falls really steps up and continues to send in donations. I hope this information has given you a better idea of ARC, who we are and what we do, and how we are an essential program here in River Falls. We welcome new board members and are always looking for more phone volunteers. For more information, please check out our website at arcriverfalls.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bitson.
Mr.
Thanks for all the work you guys do.
Mr. Mayor, if I could.
Yeah.
I just want to sort of expound on what Tammy went over. I know during the COVID, right at the beginning, they tirelessly were out there doing things and really got little to no recognition. And I know that's not why you do it, but it's really well needed here. So
It is.
thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, anybody else in the audience have anything? Okay, move on to the consent agenda. First thing is acknowledgement of the following minutes. We have the Historic Preservation Commission from 2/9. We have the Park and Rec Advisory Board from 2/16. We have the Planning Commission Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee Workshop, which was on 2/1. We have the River Falls Housing Authority, which was on 2/9. We have the Bid Board from 2/8. We have the Library Board from 2/7. The next thing is a resolution approving the general development plan for a 32-unit multifamily building at 131 and 141 West Cascade. Next thing is we have resolution reaffirming the City of River Falls commitment to sustainability. And the last thing is a resolution approving letter of agreements with SEH for engineering and construction services for the North Utility Loop and the Radio Road water main. Does anybody want to pull anything?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull number 4.
I'll take a motion on the rest.
Oop.
Oh.
Yep, pull number 3 also, please, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve consent agenda items 2A through F and 5.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's go back to Mr. Plunky. You pulled number 3.
Yep. I just think that deserves, the public deserves a little bit more of that information being presented and discussed by the council. And I'm not sure if we've got who Mr. Simpson would recommend to present info on that.
So we presented at the Plan Commission, but we're Emily Shively, our city planner, is here if the council has
I
any.
think we have the Gerards on WebEx too,
Are they on 3?
I believe.
I believe the developer's available if there's questions also.
Yeah, and I appreciate the information and the materials, but I think for public consumption, for the wider knowledge of the community, they have some idea of the upcoming projects and how this fits into the city's long-term plan and comprehensive plan is relevant.
John, can we bring them up? Thanks. Yeah, Emily, if you want to kind of give us a little overview of it.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm Emily Shively, the city planner. And what is being proposed is the third phase of the University Falls development. So this is on West Cascade near the Winter Street Bridge. And the original phases 1 and 2 were approved in 2010. So it's been a while before this phase 3 has come to fruition. And that was always sort of the intent, that phases 1 and 2 were going to go, and then phases 3 and 4 would happen at a later date. So phase 3 consists of a 32-unit multifamily building. It is a market rate building, so it's not student housing like phases 1 and 2. So this will have 2-bedroom units, 1-bedroom units, and studios. There is underground parking in the first level of the building, along with a lobby, mailroom, other services like that. Additional surface parking behind the building. And then one of the features that staff worked with the developer on providing is a connection between the sidewalk on West Cascade and the trail along the Kinnickinnick River. And that'll be on the east side of the building. So that'll provide a needed connection along that route between the street and the trail. With that, that's generally what's being proposed here. It's providing needed housing in a location that has sufficient infrastructure for this additional density. It's within walking distance of the university, downtown, jobs, retail, goods and services, that sort of thing. So the Plan Commission recommended approval and staff is as well. So are there any other questions?
From my understanding, there's a commitment to new renewable energy on top of it, correct?
Sure, the developer has proposed a flat roof on the building and that they're thinking about doing solar panels on that flat roof.
I'd like to see that commitment. Thank you.
And as I was looking over the plans, it looks to me like the additional parking lot for the building is much smaller than the existing because of the underground parking probably for the need for space. What are we looking at for runoff control stuff in that area? And how is that working with the impermeable building, hopefully?
Sure. Great question. So the site is fairly constrained. And so preliminarily, what the developer has proposed is underground stormwater treatment underneath that parking lot located on the north side of the building. And our city engineer has reviewed that and has found that that would be suitable to handle the stormwater.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody else have any questions?
With that, I'd make a motion to approve number 3.
I'll second.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Mr. Downey, you pulled number 4.
Resolution reaffirming the City of River Falls commitment to sustainability. One of the most important things that the University of Wisconsin-River Falls, the City of River Falls, School District of River Falls, and Chippewa Valley Technical College have in common with sustainability is the critical and most important need for taking action and having a clean water regulations for our city. These are regulations which we don't currently have, making sure our community has clean drinking water and that it's not just a suggestion, that it is enforced everywhere it needs to be. These clean water regulations will stop the threat to our individual and collective health that poisons us and diminishes our health every day, that destroys the community's health. The problems we all have with keeping our water sustainable and clean are many. I'll touch on some of them. Non-source point pollution, also known as polluted runoff, is a leading cause of water quality problems in Wisconsin. Polluted runoff is caused by rainfall or snowmelt moving over and through the ground, picking up natural and human-made pollutants, depositing them into rivers, lakes, wetlands, and groundwater. Drinking pesticides, drinking fertilizer, drinking manure from water runoff, and dangers of drinking liquid manure from wastewater runoff is real. Our city is at the mercy of its surroundings. Bacterial contamination of water supply is the most common, followed by nitrate pollution and the potential presence of radium. When there is no regulation on high-capacity wells, iridium, a radioactive metal, becomes a serious threat to any human being. PFAS is another major water pollutant that we need to regulate and stop. A recent review from U.S. Center for Disease Control outlines a host of health effects associated with PFAS exposure, including cancer, liver damage, decreased fertility, and increased risk of asthma and thyroid disease. Everyone deserves access to clean, safe water, and this should be an underlying principle in decisions about Wisconsin's water management, especially as it pertains to contamination from phosphorus, bacteria, nitrates, radium, PFAS, and pharmaceuticals. We should all be in support of this sustainable action of having local regulations that regulate, control, and stop pollutants from poisoning our groundwater, and having the city and county pass local ordinances to regulate and protect our water and encourage our state to pass them as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'll take a motion on that. Oh, yep.
A question for Mr.
Sure.
Downing.
Hang on, let me get a motion first and I'll
Oh,
ask questions.
gotcha.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of resolution reaffirming the City of River Falls commitment to sustainability.
Second. Okay, Mr. Plunkett.
Thank you. Sorry, my error there. Mr. Downing, I'm having trouble recalling the infinite wisdom of the Wisconsin State Legislature. Currently, the impact of multiple high-capacity wells allowed to be taken into consideration when granting permits for those wells?
Was that a question?
Yeah, that was a question of you.
Could you rephrase that?
Yeah, I think, we were talking about the impact of high-capacity wells, and I'm having trouble recalling the exact wording of it, but it's my understanding that we are prohibited by the legislature from taking that into consideration, or the DNR is, when granting permits.
That's part of why, when I was talking about that, I talked about encouraging the state to follow local ordinances that would encourage them to reverse poor and bad decision-making.
But as a local community, we don't have that power right now. The legislature has not granted us that, has it?
No.
That is unfortunate. Thank you, Mr. Downing.
Thank you for your question, Ben.
Anybody else?
We can address the rest of it, though, from what I believe.
Does anybody else have anything else on this? Okay, you got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we'll go on to Comptroller's Report for February.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this is the Comptroller's Report for February 2022. General fund revenues through the end of February were $3,379,047, or 29% of budgeted revenues. Revenues in February included $1,820,201 in property tax settlement and $276,003 in annual payments for state facilities. Expenditures for the same period were $1,437,875, or 12% of budgeted expenses. So net revenues over expenditures as of February 28th, 2022 were $1,941,172.
Thank you, Ms. Odine. Next, I just got a quick appointment I'd like to make. I'd like to appoint Karen Wells to the Bike and Pedestrian Planning Steering Commission, who would replace Jeff Wolf, and she'll be the UWRF representative on that board.
I make a motion, we accept your appointment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we will recess in closed session per Wisconsin State statute for the following purposes: considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governing body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility, to wit, the city administrator. I need a motion for going to roll call.
I make a motion, we move into closed session.
Second.
And Christie, can I have a roll call, please?
We'll start with Alderperson Plunkett,
Aye.
Odine,
Aye.
Carroll,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Morissette,
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, why don't you, yeah. Yeah, yeah.